Hello and welcome to LearningEngineer.com, where we engineer learning for efficiency. My name is Michael Langdon, and today we have a user request. Somebody requested that I take this video, generating a new number and sequence for each new document in Microsoft Word, and update it to the web using PHP as my language. And basically this is for like invoices, and the person needed the ability to create an invoice from multiple locations and they would still all have unique names. This was simply accomplished by placing a text file that counts the invoices on a network drive. But in this case we're going to have our counter right on the web. So that's what I did with this right here. So I went to this page and it automatically assigns a unique number. And if you open up this page, it automatically assigns a number and saves that. Okay. Your logo, you type your invoice information here, invoice information for 230 goes here. And of course you can make this box as big as you want. Okay. We click save. And then it tells us invoice number 230 has been saved, and so on. So that's how this works. So if you were to then, so this is at practiceengineer.com /invoice/index.php. However, if you type in after there invoice.zip right there, it will actually save the zip file for you, which contains the index.php and the counter file. So if we go over here to Dreamweaver to kind of take a look at what we have, you'll see that what we have here is we have our invoice PHP, or index PHP, I'm sorry, and we have our counter. Okay, and our counter looks there. Now our counter is not up to date. I can actually double click on this and it will download. So there it is. As you can see, there's 230 right there. Okay, and you can see here when we saved it, it's now finally saved it to the server as file 230. So when we save the invoice, it saves it to a file that uses the invoice number as part of the file name, so you can quickly and easily find an invoice. And if you wanted to bring it up in like a web browser, that would be fairly simple. You would just simply type in 230.txt, hit enter, and it shouldn't take that long, but so as you can see, there's your invoice information here. If you wanted to format that text file to be like an HTML file, you could do that. I was just trying to make this as simple as possible. So now we can go back. We can go back to Dreamweaver and kind of see what's going on here. So I'm going to go back to my index file and show you what's going on. So the very first part here, from this up to here, is my initial PHP that loads when the page loads, and what it asks is if there is an empty post. So if I haven't posted anything from the form, then do the count invoice function. Otherwise, do the save invoice function. So here's the count invoice function. This loads when you first open the web page. Okay. And so what it does is it opens the file counter, it reads it, okay. It gets the number that's there, and then adds, and this line adds 1 to it. Okay. Now I have to use globals with my variable myContent because we have to share this variable with other areas of this HTML page and PHP. And I found that if you didn't use that, it wouldn't work. I don't know why, it just didn't. So then we close the file, and then we actually have to read open it, because the first time we're opening it, we're reading it. The second time we're opening, we're writing it. And one of the issues with this was that if you do a W, it deletes it right away. And I didn't want that. So this is what it has to do. It has to open it, read it, close it, open it, write it, and then close it. Okay, so that's what happens when you first open the page. When you save, this is what happens. So it does a post, and that's where that empty is. So it posts it, okay, and it takes the invoice number and it saves it as a text. It's going to save it as this text file. So it has the file name, Then it takes the text from the invoice info text area and it saves it, and it all saves it there. Okay, so that's my save invoice function. And then so the rest here is my HTML. There's some PHP down here as well. So basically we have our invoice doc. So basically here I do have some style information just so that it wasn't tiny. And then we have our H1 header. So this is the first index. So here we have obviously invoice number. So this is where it posts the number. Okay. And basically what it's doing is it's saying, is the globals it saved variable empty? And if it is, then we're doing the number. If not, we're going to say it's saved. Okay, and so your logo goes here. We have our form action, PHP self. So basically it's posting it to itself. Okay. And then we have our text area, which is invoice info. Okay, so this is where you type it in. And then you'll notice we have our input where we save it. So this is our save button right here. And then you'll notice down here we also have another text area. Okay, but this text area, if you look up here, the style is display none. So what I found as I was working on this was that if I didn't have this another text area down below it that was hidden, it wouldn't work. So basically this is where we're storing some information for the time being so that we can save it properly. It's got to be there, I'm sorry to say. So that's how that works. It has something to do with the way the variables are, so I don't remember off the top of my head why, but if you remove it, it won't work. So there's that. And there's our form. So it's not a lot here, and if you want to adjust this or modify this, you could easily do that. If you wanted to like turn these text files into HTML files and have some formatting on them, you could do that as well. If you need to print this, like before you save it, then you just go up here and print. I tried to add a print button, but the JavaScript didn't work right with it. It acted weird. So basically this is how to save an invoice, how to generate unique invoice numbers, and then save the documents to the web page so that you could always get them back. So of course if you have any questions about this, you can post them in the comment section. Otherwise, go to practiceengineer.com/invoice/invoice.zip to get the files for this. So my name is Michael Langdon, and have a great day.